The Grad Guys Podcast, the show that demystifies the competency-based interview process and settles interview anxiety by providing you with direction, guidance and support so you can interview with confidence. Hi there everyone and welcome again to the Grad Guys Podcast. As you know, we're here to help anxious graduates succeed in interview, and today we're going to be looking at interview nerves and how visualizing your success is a really powerful tool you can use to overcome them. As always, I'm here with my colleague Pete. Pete, how are you doing today?
Yeah, good, thanks man. All good?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's the first one we've actually done in person. The Grad Guys are currently on the road, so if you do hear any background noise, apologies for that. We're quite by a busy road and there's some building work going on, so we'll try and minimise the background noise, but yeah, it'd be good to do this in person. Normally it's done over the internet, so yeah, we're really good to have a conversation. So Pete, interview nerves, well, what are they, and why is it important we think about them when we're talking about interview and prep and preparing for job interviews?
Yeah, I mean, I think let's be honest, it's something that probably affects everybody. Everyone gets a bit nervous, but I guess when it becomes overwhelming, it can become a real problem for people. We've both known people that have said and avoided interviews because they get too nervous and have said things, I'd go for that job, I get too nervous, or I messed that interview up because I got too nervous. So I think it's actually a really big thing that we need to understand and understand ways to combat them. I mean, firstly, I think it's good to look at why we get nervous, in general.
Yeah, what's the mechanism behind it?
Well, sort of nerves. We get nervous because it's our body's reaction to a stressful situation. Basically, it's our body's way of preparing for a real or perceived threat. Your body activates its flight or fight response as it boosts your adrenaline, and you'll notice those physical symptoms of being nervous. That's what happens. It's preparing you for that stressful situation. So the physical symptoms of the flight or fight are that breathing rate increasing, heartbeats faster, an increase in your alertness and energy. So it's that adrenaline coming in there, your sweaty palms going.
Oh, I've had those.
Yeah. And the nervous butterflies in your stomach. That comes because your body's redirecting that blood supply.
Yeah, so this is the actual scientific part, isn't it? So it's your brain sending those signals down to, I think it's just your adrenal glands and your kidneys. And yeah, you're actually getting that big boost of adrenaline injected into your bloodstream. So
yeah, and that's what that feeling in your stomach is, because your blood is being redirected to the most
taken away.
Yeah, to the most sort of important parts of your body, like your heart and your muscles, and that's also why you get the need to go to the toilet, because it's the
nervous poos.
The nervous poos, yeah, that's where it comes from. It's your body redirecting your blood around the system. So yeah, that's why it happens. It's
fascinating stuff. It's good to understand that. I think actually understand the physicality of why you feel like that.
Yeah,
because at least then you can always calm yourself down a bit by going, well, I know why I'm feeling like this, and we'll talk a bit about that later. But I think it's really good. I mean, I've seen a few psychologists talk about this, about being curious with your feelings and how you're feeling on the day, so understanding why you're feeling that way.
Yeah, and I think if you can, when you start to feel these things, if you can put it into a context, just my body. It's just that flight or fight response. It's just my body dealing with the situation. It then becomes a bit more controllable because you can understand why you're feeling like that, and you can get a grip a bit more because you're just going through the motions with it. This is just my fight or fight response. It's nothing to worry about. It's a natural response, and I know what ways I'm going to use to calm it down. I think it's important to recognise that though first. Yeah,
definitely. And also recognise that it's completely normal to feel like that.
Yeah.
And like you say, the more you understand that it's normal and that it's a natural thing to happen, then you can start to deal with overcoming it, which we'll obviously discuss in a bit more detail. So, I mean, why would we see, I guess the thing is, why would we see an interview? Because your body's obviously going into its caveman response, its flight or fight response. But why are we seeing an interview as a threat or a reason to be nervous? I guess the main one is it's a life-changing event potentially. Like this job could change your life. You're going to get more money maybe. a whole new career?
Yeah.
Does it define part of you, your identity and things like that? Are there any others that you think, why is your body thinking, oh, this is a threat, I'm going to act in this flight or fight response?
Yeah, I mean, like you're under pressure to perform. You're under scrutiny. Basically, you could have like 1 to 3 sort of or multiple people watching you in a room, and it's stressful, isn't it? It's like you're being put under scrutiny. Your answers, your characters being put under scrutiny. Your previous histories being put under scrutiny. So it's quite stressful. It's like
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, you've got things like fear of judgment. Like you're worried that you're going to be judged on your responses,
or rejected. You could be rejected. Like if you don't get the job.
Yeah, rejection's hard to take, and your body's like, well, why are you going to put me in a situation where I might be rejected? That's what your body's saying.
It almost curls up into a ball like an animal that's been like a hedgehog or something that's been startled by light, and it's you're curling up, and you just don't want to fight, do you?
Exactly. Your body's telling you like this is a situation where you might feel rejection, which is you might, but it's that preparing for that threat. There's other things like peer pressure as well. I think peer pressure is a big one.
This is a big one.
Yeah, you've got like family expectation, and you might not even your family might be very supportive, but you still might feel like you don't want to let them down, which is a big one.
Well, it's like you've been uni, you've got your degree now. You need to go and get a job. It's that kind of mentality, isn't it?
Exactly,
and there's a lot of pressure there.
And like you see kind of like your friends getting jobs around you, and you're feeling like, well, I better get something soon, or I'm not going to have a career. That's the sort of thoughts that can go through your mind.
And these are all added pressures that, you need to try not to let it get to you on that day, and focus on the interview itself rather than all of the circumstantial stuff that's going on around you. Exactly.
And there's also like kind of the societal pressures as well of getting a job. And it's like, wow, this interview could get me that job that kind of brings me into society, if you want, like with a career and gets me going, because that's how like kind of society sort of puts pressure on people to do that. And I think it's another reason why it can be very nerve-wracking. It's all these really quite big things that go through your mind before an interview.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think you touched on some really good points there. The reasons why we would see interview as a threat. And now we've broken it down actually to those things. It does make sense. I'm sure the listeners out there will, that I've never thought of it like that in that way until we've discussed it, but it does make complete sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've looked at why we get nervous, and we understand what effect it can have on us. So let's have a look at, one of the important techniques that we can use to overcome these nerves. So we're going to talk about let's get my teeth in. Yeah. Visualization. So this visualizing your success. So what are we talking about with visualization? What is it, and how can we use it?
Well done on getting that right, by the way. It's a difficult word.
Tricky word.
It is a tricky word.
Particularly, I haven't got my glasses on as well. I'm trying to read what we've written.
Yeah. I mean, so let's put it like this, right? How many times do you hear people say, "I'm not good at interviews. I never do well at interviews because I get nervous. I'm not going to get that job because I'm rubbish at interviews."
All the time.
Yeah. We hear it all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
We hear it all the time. If you tell yourself you're going to be bad at interview, you're going to be bad at interview.
And if it's in your head and you're visualizing, you're imagining that scene where you're sat in that interview room and all you're seeing is failure, yourself almost looking back at you like third person, you're looking back at yourself thinking, oh, there's a really stressed person there, they're sweating, they're really, they're not going to do well. Then obviously that's not going to be good for you, is it? You're almost like,
not at all.
You're almost like predicting your own downfall.
And it's like, so yeah, visualization is about overcoming that. And this is to be used in tandem with all the other things we teach about preparing yourself for the interview to make yourself less stressed and nervous. But visualization is incredibly powerful. And again, this is going to seem a bit wacky. And I never really, if I'm honest with you, I never really believed in it till I started doing it myself.
But it works.
It does work. Yeah. Like I think behind every successful person, really there is that element that they believe that they can achieve what they want, and visualizing that success as well. So visualization is is putting that picture of what you want in your mind, and then your body actually doing what your mind is imagining.
It's like the task, actually imagining the task.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of sports people use this, don't they?
Yes,
like
they do.
Coaching and sports, it's actually imagining yourself doing that technique. Say you're a professional athlete and you're throwing a javelin or something. You'd actually imagine yourself doing that throw, that javelin throw, wouldn't you? And picture each step in your mind. So It's been very successful in sports. I think they're doing Formula One racing, loads of different sports, like that power of visualization.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's very much in sports. It's putting it out there, what you want really, and focusing that image. So it's like imagining yourself being confident in interview, like you say.
And you want it to be really vivid.
Yes.
Really paint that picture, don't you? Like really vivid. Imagine yourself sat in that interview, or even the bit before that, going through the reception area and speaking to the person.
Yeah.
And, booking in and then meeting the person, shaking their hands, whatever you're doing. You can do the whole process and imagine that.
Yeah, and it's not as hard as it sounds. Like, I know people probably listen thinking, well, what's that going to do? And how do I do that? But actually, if you start framing that in your mind, it will just come. It will just come. It does, like, you have to work on it and you have to focus on it, but it does come. And I think once you have got that image, you need to write it down and also do a vision board as well. Vision boards are incredibly important and powerful things. Again, I know there's people who's going to be sitting there thinking, what does that mean? Or what is that going to do? But it really does work, because you're setting out your vision, and stuff gets done when you write it down and you put it down in paper.
It really does. It really does. I mean, I've found this really helpful. Vision boards, goal setting, actually physically putting it down on paper.
Yeah.
It's almost like you've made it official.
Exactly.
Once it's written down, or you've got it, as a collage, pictures, or whatever you're using, it is powerful. Really powerful.
It's just a psychological step to like you detailing what you want. So like a vision board, what you would do is you get your pictures of you cut out pictures, find sort of pictures of you being successful interview, or like people being a successful interview, or how you would want to be, or like someone you imagine being good at interview and how they would look. And then you put it onto a board, and then you put that board somewhere that you can see every day. Mm-hmm. and you look at it and you'd be like, well, that's gonna be me. That's how it's gonna be. And someone being successful, that's gonna be me. You can have someone shaking hands at the end of an interview, something like that. And again, it's just another point to changing that psyche of like, oh, I can't do it. Yeah. Well, we're going to show you that you can do it, and this is what it's going to look like when you can do it, and this is what your success is going to look like. And so we're replacing that kind of I can't with I can, and this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah, it's something positive to look at, like you say, every morning. Or I think it's all really good to do first thing when you wake up, and then just before you go to bed as well.
Yeah.
Just so it's kind of it's really concrete, affirming that in your mind. It's sort of the last thing you're thinking about and the first thing you're thinking about when you wake up. So it's really getting your subconscious working and imagining that really positive outcome in your mind's eye. And these vision boards, they can be done physically, can't they? Like old school collage, get a pin board or something and put it on your wall, or just cutting out, pictures or whatever you want. Or I think one of the more modern ways to do it is like download an app like Pinterest or something like that. Yeah. And you can just tag pictures you come across, really positive pictures and things that you want to add to your vision board. That's what I think we've both done that before. So really, really useful.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there any other sort of tips about the vision board you think is worth mentioning here?
Just make sure that you can see it as well. Like don't just do it and then put it away in a drawer. It needs to be up. Like I've got mine up on the wall of my office and I see it every day. Yeah. When I go in there,
put it on your fridge somewhere. Where you're going to see it,
or on your bedroom wall or somewhere. Yeah. And again, it's worth taking the time to do it. Like it really is. It is. You
might not see the benefits straight away, but it is that training your brain and your mind subconsciously. Your subconscious is going to be working away in the background, isn't it?
Yeah.
With your conscious mind, your left and right brain and everything, it's going to be working in the background, trying to find a pathway for you to achieve that success.
And in your interview, you wanna go away from your interview knowing you've done everything you can to get that dream job that you want. And these are little like training tips that accumulate into that kind of successful mindset. And this is what all successful people do, is they do train that mindset. Like you say, sports people, business people, entrepreneurs, they all do this to illustrate their thought process and what they want and how they're going to get it. So it's really important.
So let's follow something that's successful. If it works, why would you not do it?
Yeah.
And one thing I forgot to add about the sports thing was, I think scientists now have actually proven that just by visualizing and imagining, that particular sport that you're doing, whatever it is, the task, you can actually train. This is the power of the mind over matter. They've actually done tests where they've proven that just thinking about that has actually stimulated muscle growth and things like that. That's how powerful it is. So just by thinking that you've done that can actually have a physiological change in your body. So if it can do that, then it can definitely help you be more positive, reduce your anxiety, and have a more positive mindset at that moment you step in the interview room. So why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. I mean, I can already say that I've ticked off some of the bits on my vision board. You know what I mean? It's like it's stuff that's true from what I've put on there. So
we've done vision boards for the Grad Guys, haven't we?
Yeah.
As a business for us, and as a helping people out there, we've got a vision board of both individual one and then stuff joint for what we're doing now. So it's a really good, powerful thing to have. And I think if you do that alongside, if you set goals as well, which we've done various posts on our Facebook community around goal setting and the importance of that as well. But in tandem with goal setting, the vision boards are really powerful.
Yeah.
You've got the goal of, I want to land this job by this date, and it's very prescribed, very specific.
Yeah.
I want to do it by this time. But if you've got that with your vision board, you've got something visual and really vivid to look at alongside your goals. Again, that's really powerful, isn't it? For you, if you're mapping out your career or your life goals, very, very powerful stuff. Awesome. I love it. So we spoke about vision boards, and we spoke about why we get nervous. Is there anything else that would be really beneficial out there for our listeners? I think the main one for me is that it's okay to feel nervous. It's normal. It's natural.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And I think I touched upon it at the start, but it's kind of understanding your feelings. If we can understand feelings, why we get nervous, why our body's reacting the way it is, the flight or fight response, and just being curious when we feel like that, almost detach yourself away from it's me being nervous. Like, why am I feeling like that? Oh, right, well, yeah, I've got this job. It's a job interview. Okay, yeah. And we've gone through why job interviews are really stressful, and, putting so much pressure on yourself, it's the be all and end all. Well, it's potentially not, is it?
No.
Just because you don't get that job doesn't mean you're not going to get a job ever.
Exactly. And I think I think what's another important thing is don't label yourself either. Don't label yourself as I get nervous or I'm just a really nervous person. Don't label yourself, because you don't have to be like that. And it can be difficult. And we've discussed it. So I used to get really nervous at interviews. I used to get really, really nervous at interviews, but you can train yourself out of it. And it's important not to pigeonhole yourself and label yourself, because you add into that self-perpetuating cycle then. Whereas if you believe that you can beat this and you can control them, that's what it's about. It's about controlling it. It's not, you're not going to get nervous. It's about controlling it. And I mean, you can even get to the stage where you feel that nervous energy and you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah, you can actually use it in a positive way.
Because that added energy and that added energy that adrenaline rush gives you, you can use that to look enthusiastic in the interview, and you can use it as a positive. You can use it to energize yourself before an interview and come across. And that's all about just recognizing when it's happening, but being in control. And that's what's important. You don't want to let it get out of hand, so it just takes over your whole interview. That's what's important.
And I think the more, really good points there. And I think the more you do interviews and the more you do become self-aware and a bit curious about why you're feeling like this, and you start to understand your body, the way your body reacts to certain situations, you start to understand that and see these patterns emerging.
Yeah.
So you can then start to, like you say, deal with deal with that and recognize it. Go, okay, right, yeah, I'm feeling a bit sweaty now. I know why I am.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm going to deal with it. So we spoke before about, this is, I think, this is really good where like breathing exercises come in as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They can really help. Lowering the heart rate, taking time out, getting a lot of oxygen into the brain, think a bit more clear, a bit more focused. And also, I know we're really big on it, and it's one of our, we really do see the benefit. And this is like the mindfulness around the meditation, doing a pre-interview meditation. Just has to be 5-10 minutes, get yourself somewhere quiet before the interview, and doing that. I think these are really beneficial as well in tandem with the whole.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and it's like, and getting a good night's sleep as well, getting yourself into those good sleep patterns.
Overlooked often.
Yeah, because that can really kind of like, if you haven't had a good night's sleep, it can upset your kind of your physiology and make you more prone to being nervous. So
have a good breakfast. Like, don't interview on an empty stomach. Don't overdo on the coffee though as well, because you've already got enough stimulus going on in your head.
Yeah. I mean, I think we talk about that one, don't we? We talked about that, but it's true. It's like, if you've already got all that adrenaline going in you, you don't want to then have triple espresso, like quadruple shot.
I don't know. I'm not too.
Nor am I.
There's a lot of these.
I like the cheap, like 99.
Give me a filter coffee.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's not about having triple espressos that are going to really boost that energy even more to make those nerves more uncontrollable. It's about like just maybe not having any caffeine or having a tiny bit.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would need a coffee. I was angry like the Hulk, but it is about knowing, and it goes back to what we were saying, knowing your body, knowing its responses.
Exactly, yeah.
Recognizing, being self-aware of why you're acting in a certain way, or why you're feeling a certain way, emotions you've got, and recognizing that. But you can learn this not just for interviews though. You'll have it throughout normal daily life as well. Definitely. You'll be in situations that make you nervous. You might be a nervous driver. I mean, it's strange times at the moment with COVID. Some people are really anxious in, confined spaces and day-to-day shopping or whatever. So if these situations are starting to make you feel like that, the chances are you're going to have some sort of impact when you interview as well. So if you can write down the way you're feeling and things like that, and why that situation has made you feel like that, again, you're recognizing this pattern of behavior, and then you can do something about it in interview, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Whether that is the breathing exercise, whether it is a bit of mindfulness, meditation, whatever it is, but it is all about recognizing and understanding why we get nervous.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, one more thing I would say is don't be sat there looking at someone else thinking, well, they don't look nervous, so I must be the only one, because I guarantee that they are nervous.
Oh yeah, you can't not have an interview and not be nervous.
No, exactly, and anyone that says they're not is talking absolute nonsense. Yeah. Like it is. It's like, I think like people might blag that they're not nervous, or they don't. Everyone gets it, because if you don't, you were just a robot, and you wouldn't have a normal physiological reaction. Some people might be better at hiding it. I'm not saying that. Some people might be better at hiding it, but deep underneath,
because they've done what we've just said. They've recognised why they get like that.
Yeah,
and they've put in
measures
to counteract it and stop it. So it's it's just learning. It's learning why you behave in that way and doing something about it. I guess some people, I've heard lots of different things. Some people go, you should just go out and get interview experience and just apply for any job and get interviews. I mean, I personally don't prescribe that. I think, why would you put all your energy into, you want to focus your energy into something you actually want to do. I get the idea behind it, getting interview experience and stuff, but I'm personally not a big believer in just applying willy-nilly for jobs and going for just random interviews in areas that are completely not related to what you want to go for.
Yeah, and you can do desensitization, like you can do practice interviews. Yes, you know what I mean? Like that's maybe an easier way of doing it.
Well, I mean, that's obviously one of the services we offer. Mock interviews, interview practice, that kind of stuff. So you can go and do that. You can do it with friends, family, if they've got experience in that. Although be careful, make sure that they have actually got experience in interviewing. Or if you've got people at a workplace, that if you're going for an internal promotion, these sort of things, you can often get experience with that. So there's loads of really good ways of trying to elicit these responses from your body. Like I say, even in daily life, you're going to have these. So it's just learning how to manage them. Excellent. So we've covered quite a lot of ground there in a short space of time. I think we've whizzed through that. So hopefully there's been some benefit there to the people listening out there. So just to summarise, we've gone through why we get nervous. We've obviously spoken about it's completely okay to feel nervous at an interview, and actually, if we can focus that nervousness, that anxiety in the right way, having that increased alertness can actually be a really good thing and help you and have that success as long as we learn how to control it. We spoke about mindfulness techniques and what you can do to overcome those, and that also you're not alone. Everyone feels like this, and if people say they don't, they're just talking absolute rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the vision boards, let's not underestimate the power of visualization and vision boards. Really powerful stuff. Yeah, give it a go. You might think it's a bit woo-woo, but it does work.
It does work. Yeah,
really
give it a go.
Work.
Give it a go.
What have we got to lose? You know,
exactly.
It's a little bit of your time, isn't it? If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But I would say stick with it though, personally, because there's stuff going on subconsciously that you're not even aware of.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of space on your wall, but it will change your life potentially. So well worth doing.
And you can change it once you do get that job.
Yeah.
Your vision's going to change it. Your goals are going to change.
That's the thing.
Let's put someone else up. Let's put the next promotion, or I don't know, a life. I want to buy a house, or I want to, whatever it is we want to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to use just a job. See, it's really powerful stuff for all manner of things. Excellent. Well, like I say, we've whizzed through that. There's a lot of ground there. Hopefully, people out there, there's been some benefit there. You found value in what we've done and what we spoke about. Give you time to digest what we've discussed, and give some of these things a go. Is there anything else you want to add, Pete, before we wrap up today's episode?
No, just give what we've talked about a go. Realise you're not alone with this, and don't let it define you. Don't let those or being nervous define you. It's just a part of your physiology. It's not who you are.
Yeah, that's really that is a really good point to finish on there. Really, really strong point there. Because too many people do that, and then it's just a perpetual cycle, and they just go downhill from there, don't they? So, yeah. If you mess up one interview, it's not a big deal. I think we just spoke about it before.
Yeah.
We've messed up interviews. It's not a big deal. Okay. There's always the next one, and there's always something to learn from and develop. Excellent. Cool. Well, thanks for your time, Pete. Love that end point. Great point to finish on. One thing I'd just like to add is if you do want to give the vision board a go, we'd really like to see that. So if you're not a member of our Facebook community, then you can join our Facebook community, facebook.com/groups/the Grad Guys. Upload your vision board. If you can do a live video as well and discuss your vision board, that's really going to help you, get out there, out to other strangers, members of the public, members of the group. And we're just there to help and support each other. So if you can put your vision board up in our Facebook group, I think that would be really beneficial for you and other people as well. We'd love to see it. We'll give some advice, and it'd be really good to see, how you progress with your interview preparation. And ultimately, it's going to really help you on that day, isn't it? And you're going to interview with confidence, which is what it's all about. So thanks for your time, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
We hope you found today's episode useful. If you did, then please be sure to leave a review, share and subscribe. You can also join our Facebook community by searching The Grad Guys, and also by checking out thegradguys.com. See you next time.